And welcome all. Um, this one's a controversial post. It's my view on finding tradies. There's plenty, certainly through the surveys, sort of highlighted the number one problem was finding tradies, and good ones even harder. So, as you know, or I think most of you know, I've spent quite a bit of time on Panel Beaters Australia and Spray Painters Australia's page. Had a bit to do with the industry over the years as well. So this is a culmination of all those thoughts. So I watch blokes post on the pages, and some of them get good results, others not so good. So anyway, the intention here is a bit of thought promotion to see whether there's something that's on here that maybe you hadn't considered, maybe you need to look at it. Scorn me if you will, but anyway, let's get through it, and you can make your own minds up there. So, as I said, looking for tradies. It's not just about the money. Money's obviously important, and the boys will go, oh yeah, it's that. But I can tell you that if they're getting $100 a week more and working in a rubbish shop with a bad culture or whatever, they'll leave. They'll go backwards just to be in a happy place. So there were some surveys that were put out a couple of years ago, and they've been followed up a few times on the various trade journals around the world, and they all have that where wages, they're in the top 10, but they're not in the top 5. Other things around happy work, travel to work, quality of life, they're other items. So if you think you're going to get staff simply by just throwing money at them, give up. You're going the wrong way. So that's a start. So I've done up a series of slides with just little topics, and I'll touch on them. And look, after that, happy to cop it, take whatever it is, follow through with people if they want to know a bit more about a particular thing. Happy to give you me 10 cents worth, and if it helps you, great. If it doesn't, you're going to lose about 5-10 minutes of your life. So I think it's worthwhile starting here. You're after good staff. They're obviously out there and they're working somewhere else. So ask yourself the question, why would they leave where they are to come and work for you? Either they have a moment where they're not happy and you can grab them, but generally speaking, if they're settled in and they're happy, then it's going to have to be a fairly compelling reason to leave with something in it for them to make them leave. So thinking that people will just move simply because you put an ad out there, it doesn't go very far. So ask yourself, what can you offer them that wherever they are can't offer? So if you can come up with a solution to that, whether that be a work environment or training or some of these other topics we'll go through, but that's the first question I think everybody needs to ask themselves. Why would they leave where they are, and what can you do to encourage them to leave and make it somebody else's problem then? So there you go. That's that question. Some ad don'ts. I see, I don't know, 20 ads, probably 50 a week, I'd imagine, across all the sites. And you see the good ones and you see the ones that are just absolutely rubbish. They really do. Ads where must be reliable, must be trades qualified, must be able to work in a team environment, blah, blah, blah. And all it is I want, you must be, I expect this. Look, obviously you need those things, but putting that in the ad doesn't go anywhere. It's once you're sitting down in the office with them, you can talk about, well, mate, I need you here reliably on time every day. No, you can't do drugs, all those other things. But you've got to get them in the office first. So the ads need to be, we are offering. What's in it for them? Why would they want to even pick up the phone? So it's just mentioning good money for the right applicant and nothing else. It goes nowhere. It really doesn't. So what can you offer them? Lifestyle choices, and we'll get to that. So just try and stay away from the I want type of an ad. Have a read of it and see whether, I see a lot of people post out of sheer frustration with, must be able to turn up on time. Clearly, the last bloke didn't turn up on time, and that's what's frustrated them. But put it aside, bright and breezy. This is what we can offer you. So you do turn up on time. So they're the don'ts. Where to advertise. So obviously, I'm a Spar and a Facebook fan, but we'll get to that. Seek ads. They get lost and they're expensive. So I don't particularly think that Seek's a lot of help to our trade for us to get our tradies. Don't worry about other industries and Seek is a great spot, or LinkedIn is a great spot to get office staff from. But the boys out the back, the tradies, yeah, Seek's problematic, to put it at least. It's expensive. It's cumbersome. A lot of the blokes don't even know how to search because we don't actually have a panel beating section in a lot of the Seek search engines. LinkedIn is another great one for office staff and managers and a lot of other clerical type roles in LinkedIn. But most of the tradies don't even know what LinkedIn is. So, you're probably not helping yourself there. If there's others, hey, I'd love to know if there's other platforms. I used Jora to great effect a couple of years ago when I was working in Sydney in the Hale, and we were able to find general labourers on Jora. You'd put an ad there and get 45 applicants, so it can work. Jora, it's really good that way. But for what we're after, my last little comment, I'll get rid of this picture and Spar and PBA, so Spray Painters Australia, Panel Beaters Australia. That's where the tradies hang out. As you would probably know, there's 30,000 people on Spray Painters Australia and about 20-something thousand on Panel Beaters Australia. There's only 10,000 people in the industry, or maybe 12,000, you could argue about it, people in the industry in Australia. So clearly those two Facebook pages have a market share. There's plenty of enthusiasts and rat bags and rah-rah as well, but mostly if you put an ad there, it'll get into every panel shop in Australia. So little tip that's not listed, I just thought of too, is Thursdays 4 o'clock is the peak viewing time. So if you got an ad, put it in at 3 o'clock on Thursday, go from there. So, but again, where do you advertise? That's where. If you're looking for apprentices, no point putting them on Spar. That's what your schools are for. Now get onto the vocational guidance people. But we'll talk about tradies now. I'll talk about apprentices one other day. Next one. So I've broken this down now, working on a logic that Spar and PBA are the place to go. And the next couple of slides are specifically around how to do with an ad, what to put in it, what not to put in it, So engagement. So you can put an ad there, turn the comments off, and in the ad just say, if you're interested, PM me. Which you can do that. The upside is that you don't have to put up with the dickheads, and I probably shouldn't have put that in there. But you don't need to engage with everybody, right? On the downside is that if you're not engaging and there's no banter and talk about your ad, it drops off the page and it's gone, and then it's been a pointless exercise. So I'm of the opinion that you've gone to the trouble of posting the ad, engagement, talking to the boys, tagging mates in, getting the other boys at work to make comments about it, keeps it relevant, gets the chatty going, and then hopefully out of that somebody goes, oh yeah, they sound like a good bunch of blokes to work for, and you get the inquiry. So but there's your options. If you don't really want to be putting up with the rubbish about that's on Spar in particular, then you turn the comments off and hope. So that's the first one. Second one, selling your business. Might sound silly, but there's nothing wrong with upsell. There's nothing wrong with putting a bit of shine and a bit of polish on your business. How cool it is, how good it is, why they want to be there. So if you can show them nice pictures of the shop, the environment they're working in, how the way that the shop lays out, pictures of the smoko room or whatever, that's what it's all about. We're not paying for how do you do it? you're not paying for per line for the ad or per picture like we used to have to in the newspapers. You can't have too many pictures. If you've got 15 pictures there and a great long spiel, great, you're allowed. Mad if you don't. So many times do I see a rubbish ad and they don't even have a picture. We reject them if they don't have the shop name on them, but otherwise, yeah, that's it. So, and again, as the last little comment, pictures say 1,000 words, and they do. So a nice photograph of the inside the workshop or the new welder or the car aligner or whatever it might be. That sort of stuff goes a long way. Picture of the beer fridge. Who knows? Put them all in. It's number 6. Just bear with me here, folks. Ads, hot topic. So I've called it a hot topic for a reason. I've recently moved into a new shed, and the first thing I did was air condition it because it was hot. So, and from that, it's really got me thinking about those cold winter mornings and the stinking hot summer. And when you start to do the sums, a 20k outlet for a temperature control system, if you've got 4 staff and you break up that cost over 3 years, it's going to cost you $1 an hour. It's something I never really thought about a lot. If you've got solar power, well, it's going to cost you nothing to run. But having a shop that's air conditioned, I know that there's some parts of Australia where you got to have it, but a lot of the other places too, it can get hot in the summer. Air conditioned, take the sting out of it. Don't have to bring it down to 18 degrees, but and get it where, like I said here, a maximum of 25 in the summer and a minimum of 15. A few heaters into place, warm it up. If somebody's got to come in 10 minutes earlier and warm the place up in the winter time, well, that's fine. So making it comfortable, we try and make our office staff, and then probably as shop owners and managers, you're quite happy to see the air conditioner or the heater on. The poor bastards out the back, if you can offer them that level of comfort, again, it's an encouragement. What can you offer that somebody else is not doing? If that's what it is, good. What's it do for your production? Next is, can you sell your region? I've seen a couple of places do it really, really well. Up around Broome and Karratha, they've done it particularly well, where they're not selling a job at a shop and the pictures of the shop, because there's probably not a lot to sell to photograph, but the sun, the surf, the sand, sell a lifestyle, whether that be surfing or four-wheel driving or fishing, or doesn't matter. Pictures of your region and how good it is. It's talking to a mate the other day about finding staff in Toowoomba. It's just one of those places where the locals love it, but trying to get people out there, as opposed to trying to drag somebody out of Victoria to come to the Gold Coast, it's pretty easy. So selling your region, nothing wrong with that, and pictures of it. Another one too, various regions, especially for the regional boys. Cheap houses close to trains is a big one, so the people can get in and out of where they are. Relocating people. Yeah, you might cop a bit of a housing hit cost-wise for relocation, but on a 2 or 3 year contract, it comes back and it costs you 10 cents an hour. So, but the cost of housing, in particular in Melbourne, where it's $600, $700, $800 a week for a pretty dingy house, you can get a mansion in a lot of regional areas for that sort of money, or a lot less. Got to sell that. Pictures of the house. This one can be rented for $300, whatever. But again, it's selling your region needs to be part of your strategy when all else fails. There's some regions there's no point. If you're inner city Melbourne, you wouldn't bother. You're going hard on other areas. So next one, feeling important. It's amazing the way the world is, but if you can be a panel beater, or you can be the leading hand. People like titles, so humour them. That doesn't hurt. Letting them know that they've got input into the shop's management, and that can be something as simple as a 15-minute chat once a week, and which you're probably doing anyway via your toolbox meetings, and you need that staff feedback. So, but if they're sitting down in some sort of a formal structure with a beer, and they're going through what's happening with the shop, can give you input. people like to be engaged. They like to think they've got, well, not think, but they like to have some sort of control over their own destiny, and this gives them that opportunity. So it's something that I like. You know? The responsibilities of the shop and the overall management. If that's in the ad to say that you won't just be the panel beater, you're also going to be the leading hand, and or you're going to be part of the management structure of the business along with everybody else there. Good. It's a more engaging environment for everybody. Bright and breezy. This one's the pictures. You want to be having photographs of a well-presented shop. It's clean and tidy. Nothing wrong with seeing empty bins in a shop as far as the photographs go, for sure. A lot of blokes can see from a picture how the shop's going to flow, and whether it's cluttered and whether it's a stop-start shop and there's piles of rubbish in the corner. I don't want to work there. Those days are gone. We're not 1974 anymore. Smoko room, even though they'll sit on milk crates, have you got milk crates? Toilet blocks that are clean, and I think we'll also always make sure the customers have got the clean toilet, but not necessarily the boys out the back. Half the time they don't deserve it, but that's another story. Keeping them neat and tidy and clean, and then hammering them for them to maintain it while you get a contractor in. It's those little things that make a place more inviting, and another reason why they'll work. Remember that 70, like your business and your workflow's 70-80% of it's from referrals. It's the same with the staff thing. If the boys out the back on the floor, they've all got mates that work at other shops, and if your shop's the cool one and it's got the cold beer on Friday and whatever, or clean toilets and a smoko room and all that, they're more likely to tell their mates how good it is, and then you're halfway there. So again, that referral thing. I was talking to a shop the other day, and we touched on the electronic smoko room that is SPA and PBA. They're electronic smoko rooms. Now, the word gets out there, and if you've got a shop that people want to be at and a destination of choice, then finding start's easy. It really is. 11, right, education and personal growth opportunities. A lot of the boys like the opportunities to go. Not all, some of them would have you just to turn up, do their day's work, go home. But offering them the opportunity to train them, quote up the top there, what if I train them and they leave? Well, worse still, what if I don't train them and they stay? So I've personally been a big one for trying to encourage them to do training, whether that's just simply watching YouTube links or iCar or Valspar and other companies have got online training. Go hard, You'll be amazed on the Crashzone Facebook page, the shop owners one that hopefully you're all part of. In the file section, there is stuff going back years and all manner of form of helpful information. It'd be worthwhile spending 5 minutes one day just scrolling back and having a bit of a mental note about what's there. There could be some stuff that's very interesting. I know Tammy Murphy put a lot of stuff in there in the early days and did a great job. So the cost of training, just touch on at the bottom. Yeah, it costs. They're going to want to do it in their time, in your time, and they're going to want you to pay for it and blah, blah. And then when they're trained, they're going to want more money. But if it's increasing your production and actually getting you good quality staff, then it's just a cost of business, isn't it? Can't really change a lot of it. Number 12 is feeling loved. Everybody loves a kiss and a cuddle. So I'm a dinosaur in a lot of things, but probably these things is sometimes I've done it well, other times it's been an abject failure. But feeling loved, if the boys don't get up each morning, oh geez, I've got to go there again, then they've got a better chance. So I'm just throwing a couple of easy ones. I'm sure you all have your own little ways of doing it with a beer or say the go-karts or ladies' days for the wives. All those things that you need to sort of not forget about them and keep them going somehow. Easier said than done a lot of the time, but maybe one of those management roles that we spoke about earlier, that bloke he's in charge of it. Well, Wages, the hot topic. The elephant in the room, as I call it. Inflation is caused by a supply and demand cycle. We've had a few other things that have pushed inflation. You know, you'd be living under a rock if you didn't know that houses have gone up 20% since Christmas, etc. That's pushing everything up. So to me, $40 is the old 30, 30 is the old 20. That's just where it's going. Our quotes need to reflect it. The good news with the wages part of it is that wages are about 40% of your operational costs. In general, every shop will be different, but just as a simple illustration here, the 40% operational cost, lifting your wages by say $4 or 10% from $40 to $44, it's only going to lift your quote by 4%. Because parts and all the other stuff doesn't go up. So it just really got to be, and it's got to be linked to performance. There's nothing wrong with having wages and paying people for what they do, performance-wise. Put some KPIs around them, measure them. With Crashzone, you've got your time apps and all your other measuring systems. So you'll know who's good, who's bad. You should be able to sit down with them and go, right, see that? That's why you're on $2 an hour. And mate over there, he's on more because see what he's done, and explain it. So that's the wages side of life to a degree. I've got a couple on wages. I just did this little illustration of a normal job, $100 job in yellow here. The parts are going to be about probably 40-50% of it. Wages, $30 in a $100 job. Then you got the rest of your bills, and you got a bit of a profit at the bottom. So if the wages, so over here you have cost of repair, and cost of repair should be. So if the average job went from $100 to $110, and wages went from 30 to 40, it's a 30% increase in wages. So you're probably not going to be creeping that much in a lump. But parts stay the same, rent stays the same, profit stays the same, job goes up 10%. Finding 10%, yeah, there'll be shops out there that'll howl me down that you can't get it. Well, if you don't try, you won't. So I'll leave that with you. There's blokes out there like Cole Stevenson that I would just about challenge that he'll add 5 to 10% every job we've got. Next one is units. I'm not sure whether everybody knows how the units work, and I thought for the sake of a couple of minutes, I'll just run through it just to make it a bit clearer. So units it's a measuring of real output, real time, and real dollars. So if the staff wages are, if there's 40 units / hours in a week, and they do $1,000, so there's $25 per unit. If they do 50 units, then they've made bonus of 10 units, 250. We know from history, and I know from a couple of hundred blokes that work in the that other building that we don't talk about, being the big green one, it's fairly easy for a competent tradesman to get 120 or 150 units a week. So he's got his 40 units or his 1,000K as his retainer, and then let's call it 80 units that he's gone over. So another 2K bonus for the week, 3K for his salary. There is plenty of blokes doing that, right? But it's all measured, it's all production, it's a sausage factory. The downside also is putting that system in by itself without checks and balances, you'll end up with faster output, but it encourages the shortcuts. So you really got to make sure that your quality doesn't drop. And as I've made the note there, be careful what you wish for. They can work. You can't fault the system where the boys have got a safety net at the bottom. They're being rewarded for their ability. If they upskill and learn how to do things neater, quicker, faster, whatever, good on them. And if they're getting more money, remembering that for every unit of $25, the shop's getting the other 25 or 30. So the more the staff's getting, the more the boss is getting. So that's units. Quick touch on. Next one. Working hours is a great one from a lifestyle choice. If you can put a lifestyle in and let them know there's a 9-day fortnight or the first Friday of every month off or whatever. And again, here I've put a few, 4 10-hour days or the 9-day fortnight. I think the days of the 8 a.m. till 4:30 Monday to Friday are gone, or they should be. Talk to the boys, see what their preference is. Blokes that like to go and have a hit of golf, or like to have a long weekend every so often, even if it's only one day a month. That's again, it makes you more attractive than where they are. And if where they are won't do that, and you will, again, this is all about encouraging people across. So, food for thought on the work hours. Grow your own tradies. Couldn't help myself here. Just a short story on my experiences personally in 17 and 18. Had about 40 or 50 staff at the time, and life turned to crap, as it can do. Well, it did for me anyway. Out of that, over the next 12 months, we had a lot of staff left, and we had absolute turmoil within the business, directly related from personal stuff. Long story short, when the dust settled and I'd rebuilt, there were 6 staff that we'd kept out of that 40. Only 6 had been retained. And those 6 were my former apprentices that had become tradesmen and then worked their way into leadership roles. So growing your own, there is a degree of loyalty, and the boys did stick it out with me, and I can't thank them enough. And from that, I was able to rebuild the business again. So as I say, growing your own, there's a lot to be said about it. The best time to employ an apprentice is 5 years ago. You now have a tradie. The next best time is today. There's plenty of government incentives at the moment, so why you wouldn't have one, I don't know, or 2. It should be every tradesman just about needs to have one bolted beside him, because they drop off. They're not all going to survive. In fact, if you can get 30% success rate, you're doing better than me. Next one. These are my thoughts. I'm speaking from my industry experience and the hundreds and hundreds of job ads that I've seen and successful recruiting campaigns that I've been a part of, and that's where this has come from. So from that, I'd love to hear your feedback. I'll add it to the chart. I'll keep it growing. So please do that. The next couple of slides are of a couple of ads. I just wanted to show you a good, better, best, for want of a better description. So this bloke here, this is his ad. A poor example of an ad, really. It's that bad I even blocked out his name. It's just crap. Why would you bother putting it up there? To be honest with you, it's going to go nowhere. It's got nothing compelling about the ad at all. But he'll probably go, I'll put an ad up and I got nothing from it. Well, that's right. You put in nothing, you get back nothing. So next one, better. At least he's got a photograph. He does talk about the type of work he does. But again, it's more about I want. Must be able to weld, must have basic hand tools and love the job. And look, I know he needs that, but saying something like, hey, we've got this great opportunity doing restos, cool cars, here's a picture of someone we've done, upselling his business, rather than this just says drab building and you go, geez, do I really want to turn up to that every day? So that's that one. An ad that I thought was pretty good. There's also on the front page of Panel Beaters Australia at the moment, GC Restorations, and a photograph of his shop. Geez, it looks nice. But this ad here, it's engaging and it's inviting. Picture of the shop, but it's neat and clean, and you can see everything's got a spot, and you'd be rewarded with a great pay, overtime if you want it, fully kitted out. Get to work on some of the coolest cars around. Do prestige, but occasional resto. He's giving you something. You go, you know what? That looks all right. Or I reckon that's what it does anyway. So they were just 3 ads that I grabbed this afternoon quickly to put on this little slideshow. So the end. Love to hear what you've got to say about it. Thank you.